Hi everyone, and welcome to our informational webinar, Teaching in the USA with Educational Partners International. We are Educational Partners International, but we commonly call ourselves EPI for short, so I will call us EPI throughout this presentation. My name is Jessica and I work as a content specialist for EPI. I am from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working with EPI, I taught English at the community college level. And I'm really excited to be working for a company that combines my passion for education with my passion for cultural exchange. Today I will be talking about what EPI does and how you can apply. We also want you to take this opportunity to ask any questions that you have regarding EPI and our process. You can ask questions in the comment box and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Keep in mind that we won't be able to answer questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those questions should be emailed to team@teachwithepi.com. Today's webinar is a general introduction to EPI. By the end of this presentation, we hope you will understand the mission of EPI and know the benefits both in the program and after you leave the U.S. We will also answer any questions that you have about the program, so please leave those questions in the comments. So the first question that most people have is, what is EPI? You can answer this question in a lot of ways, but first and foremost, EPI is a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers into the U.S. to teach. Officially, EPI is designated by the U.S. Department of State as a sponsor for an exchange visitor program. We have become a world leader in cultural exchange, helping hundreds of teachers from around the world to come to the U.S. to teach. Teachers in our program are currently teaching in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our office is in North Carolina, which is about where the arrow is on that map there. We would love to know where you are from too, so go ahead and tell us in the comments. To understand the importance of U.S. cultural exchange, you may need to know more about the history of cultural exchange in the United States. Much of the cultural exchange movement in the U.S. was started by Senator J. William Fulbright. He was passionate about strengthening U.S. international relations and saw cultural exchange as a good way to accomplish this. You are probably familiar with his name because he created the Fulbright program, which is a famous international education scholarship. After creating the Fulbright program, he developed and passed the Fulbright-Hays Act of 1961. The purpose of this act was to increase mutual understanding between the people of the United States and the people of other countries by means of educational and cultural exchange to strengthen the ties which unite us with other nations. The Fulbright-Hays Act led to the creation of cultural exchange programs across the United States. If you have been to our website, you have probably seen this definition for EPI. Educational Partners International is an exchange visitor program authorized to sponsor teachers for K-12 placement in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. But what does that actually mean? Well, as we've stated, it means that we offer cultural exchange opportunities for teachers from other countries to come to the United States. Cultural exchange means that our teachers come to the United States to share their culture and then return to their home country so that they can share what they have learned about the U.S. Our program is a 3-year program. After those 3 years, you could possibly apply for up to a 2-year extension, which means that the longest you will stay in the United States with us is 5 years. After you have finished the program, you will return to your home country for 2 years. Those 2 years where you go back home is important because that is where you are really going to complete our cultural exchange mission. Of course, we want to help you come to the U.S. to share your culture, but we are also interested in you returning home and sharing your experience in the United States with other people in your home country. That is because EPI believes sharing knowledge across cultures and venues improves understanding among teachers, students, administrators, and members of the communities in which we live. This is the whole reason why we do this program. Your ability to bring your culture to the United States and then to take U.S. culture back home with you is really what true cultural exchange is about. Exchanging knowledge and information between cultures so that we can understand each other better as a global community. So, what does that kind of cultural exchange look like? Well, as a teacher with EPI, you will create projects and events to help share some of your culture with your students and teachers in the United States. Today, we have a couple of examples of projects our teachers have done in the past. This is an activity one of our Filipino teachers organized for his art class. He taught the class about the Mascara Festival and its history, and then had his students make their own traditional festival masks. Claudia, a Spanish immersion teacher from Mexico, wanted to teach her children about how Mother's Day is celebrated in her home country. She hosted a Mother's Day celebration where her students read poems in Spanish and sang songs for their mothers. One of our Jamaican teachers participated in a cultural exchange expo at her school. For the expo, she created a display of Jamaican food, symbols, and attractions. Now that you have more of a background on who we are and what we do, it's time to talk about what benefits you get from participating in our program. As we keep talking about, the most obvious benefit is that you will get to encounter new cultural experiences, experience life in the United States, and share your culture with people who would not normally experience it. Your students here may not know very much at all about life in your home country, and you will get to share things with your students that they would have never known otherwise. By doing this, you will also have the opportunity to make a positive impact for students all over the world, not just in your home country. Also, one of the most important things that we offer you is cultural and instructional support for you during your time here in the United States. We think teacher support is a major part of this whole process and one of the most important things that we do. We are invested in your success, so we are available as a resource for you even after you arrive in the United States. So let's talk more in depth about the type of support that we offer our teachers. EPI's Teacher Support Program is an area of pride for us as a cultural exchange program. As soon as you are placed in a school, one of our dedicated and trained support team members will contact you and help guide you in the process of moving to the U.S. The relationship between you and the support team is an important one and will continue throughout your time as an EPI program member. Should you need help of any kind while you are in the U.S., the EPI support team is ready to help you. At EPI, we understand that American students need the international perspective that teachers like you bring, and we are dedicated in doing all we can to help you deliver it. From culture shock to meeting the needs of struggling learners, we are here to support you. EPI is a program that not only provides benefits while you are here, but also when you return to your home country. The experiences and professional development that you will have while you are in the United States is something that you will carry with you your whole life. Once you are done with our program, you will be able to go home with a new perspective that will enrich your personal and professional life. Also, participating in this program means that you are now a world educator. You are a teacher who has taught students from multiple countries all over the world. Experiences like these are truly life-changing, and you will not be the same kind of teacher or person that you were before you came here, which we consider to be one of the major benefits of participating in our program. Before we finish talking about the benefits that EPI has to offer, here is what some of our teachers have said about their time in the United States with us. Lynn from Australia says, being in the EPI program has given me the opportunity to meet people from all over the world and to learn about their culture and language. It has been challenging at times, but it's allowed me to grow as a person and to step out of my comfort zone. Maria from Spain says, with EPI, you are never alone. You always have great people with you to be a point of connection between you and your school. I would also like to emphasize how you grow personally and professionally through this experience. Thank you, EPI. We also have a video from Ludmilla from the Philippines sharing her story. I'm going to try and cue that up. We'll see if it works. And then after this video, we will be answering your questions in a live question and answer session. So this is what Ludmilla says about her experience with EPI.
Been with EPI for 2 years now. I joined them in 2015, and I can still remember the first year that I got there. The community was very supportive. It's not only the school, but also some of the churches. They come together to help me put out my house. They put together furnitures. And I remember when I moved in, our district superintendent was even there to put up the bed that he gave my daughter. So the feel of Southern hospitality is really there, and I got to feel what Southern hospitality really is. And I don't feel that I'm different from my colleagues, because it's the school where I'm teaching right now. It has a familial culture. Basically, it's the same as the culture of the school where I came from. So I must say I'm very grateful for EPI, because it was a perfect match.
To hear more from our teachers, visit our Facebook page. We have posted several videos of our teachers talking about their cultural exchange experiences. We also post teacher stories on our website, teachwithepi.com. Now it's time for questions. I will be answering any questions that you have left in the comments, so if you have not yet submitted your questions, please ask them now. Also, we encourage you to tell us about yourself. We would love to know where you are from. It looks like we have already heard from teachers from Mexico, Canada, the Philippines, Australia, Jamaica, and Colombia today. So our first question for today is, what is the age limit? EPI does not have an age limit. Regardless of how old you are, you can start your application at teachwithepi.com. Our next question is, what grade levels are you looking for? We work with American grades, kindergarten through 12th grade, which are approximately ages 5 to 18. Our next question is, what are the requirements? So there are a few requirements that I'll be going over in just a minute, but some of the most basic requirements that we have is that you are strong in English, that you are currently teaching, that you have a U.S. bachelor's, or the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree, and that you have 2 years full-time teaching experience. Okay, so what subjects are you looking for? We are accepting applications in all subjects right now, so regardless of what subject you're teaching, go ahead and start your application at teachwithepi.com. Okay, now the question is, when do you accept applications? We accept applications year-round, but the sooner that you can start your application and submit it, the more likely you are to get placed in a school in the United States for the 2018 school year. So we encourage you to start your application as soon as possible. Our next question is, do I need a driver's license? No, you do not need a driver's license. If you are a driver, you will have more places that you can get placed in the United States because you won't be dependent on public transportation, but you do not need a driver's license to be a part of our program. Okay, and our last question for today is, what is the application fee? We do not have an application fee. We will never charge you an application fee, but there are certain things that will cost money throughout your application that you will be responsible for, such as your criminal record checks or your certified translations. Okay, that's our last question for today. If you did not get to ask your question, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We are going to answer all remaining questions in the comments after the broadcast. So now that you know more about us, the question is EPI right for you? Here we have listed some of the basic requirements of our program. EPI teachers must have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. They must have at least 2 years full-time teaching experience, they must be currently teaching, and they must have advanced English skills. So if that sounds like it applies to you, go ahead and apply at teachwithepi.com. As you can see in the video, the first step is to go to our website, teachwithepi.com. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will answer some questions about your eligibility and click the submit button. After you answer the questions, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. An email address is all you need to get started. If you have already started the application process, be sure that you are checking your email regularly for updates on your status. In closing, I would like to share this quote from J. William Fulbright that I feel illustrates the importance of cultural exchange education. We must try to expand the boundaries of human wisdom, empathy, and perception, and there is no way of doing that except through education. Much like Fulbright talks about here, at EPI we hope to expand the understanding of U.S. students by giving them the opportunity to learn from teachers like you. So that's all for today, everybody. If you are interested in viewing our previous webinars or signing up for our upcoming webinars, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars and sign up for our mailing list. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to hear about our upcoming events, as well as to hear more from our current teachers. If you have any more questions, be sure to email us at team@teachwithepi.com. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thanks for joining us today and have a great day.